Hi.
Hey guys, hello. Welcome to today's webinar. All
Yes,
right.
welcome, welcome.
Welcome all, everyone. Jadine, how are you today?
I am good. Enjoying another wonderful quarantine day. Lots of relaxing, doing some webinars. How are you, Liam?
I'm very well as well. Thank you for asking. Yeah, it's a beautiful day, so of course I'm inside.
Yep. Do
Um,
you have a balcony where you live?
we are fortunate enough, we have a small balcony where we live, which you can even get a little chair on the balcony if you want
Uh,
to.
Excellent. But just one chair, just the one.
What two at a push, I would say.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but it was very nice because last night from our balcony we could hear everyone clapping and cheering for the healthcare workers, and we joined in with them,
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
which
We
is
we could hear where we live as well, the clapping. But hi, Massimo, how are you?
hi
Um,
Massimo.
but yeah, not so much because we are a little bit out of the central areas.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. So, guys, just if you have not met Jadine and I before, I'm so sorry that you've been deprived for this long. But just to say, guys, I'll introduce myself first. My name is Liam. I am 30 years old and I am from Manchester, home of the greatest football team in the world. And no, I don't mean the ones in blue. Okay. So, and I've lived in
okay.
Milan I've lived in Milan for about 2 years now. And I've lived in Italy for 3 years. Okay. Jadine, what about you?
Okay, very nice. So I'm Jadine. I am originally from London in England, also in the UK, but in the south. Liam is from the north, so our accents are a little bit different. Um, and I am new in Italy. I have only been living here since October, so it's
Mm.
been a very, very strange time. um, but it's nice still. I like it. I'm also a new teacher at Maes. So Liam and I both work in the Milan school on Via Meravigli. So for everyone watching, please, as we've written, introduce yourselves. What's your name? Where are you from? I think this week as well, there might even be some students from France and Spain watching, Liam.
Yes, I did. I heard that. Yeah. So if you're joining us from outside of Italy, in our
Yep.
fellow quarantine zones, in our fellow lockdown zones of France and Italy, bienvenidos, bienvenue. It's very nice to meet you. If you guys,
Oh, so
uh,
cultured.
and yeah, thank you. Um, yeah, so poor Jadine, she comes to Italy in October. You know, come to Italy, they said, it'll be beautiful, they said. And
Yep.
she's had what I think, guys, if you want a good expression, she's had what we sometimes call in English a baptism of fire. Okay. Now this is
Yeah,
quite
I agree.
quite it's quite a dramatic expression, okay? But if you think, guys, baptism is typically with water, okay? So obviously a baptism of fire, okay, it's like the opposite of that. And it means you have an introduction to something new. Hello, Stephanie from Genoa. Stephanie, hello.
Hello,
Oh, very nice.
welcome.
Welcome, Stephanie. Okay, guys. So yeah, any questions, any comments, okay, just post them in the chat function, okay, and we will always try to answer them. Okay, we'll always try and answer you if you've got any
Exactly.
questions, or if you want us to spell a word. Maybe we say something and you want us to spell it, for example. Hello,
Yep.
Massimo from Milan, from Maes Meraviglia. Hello, Massimo. Very nice to meet you. All right, JD, what are we doing today?
Yes. So for this level 4 to 5 focus activity, we are arranging to go out. So of course, this is post
Mm,
quarantine in April. I hope you guys use this language a lot. So
Yes.
it's a difficult topic at the moment. But in this
It
focus
is.
activity, we will be deciding what to do, deciding where and when to meet, discussing and talking about our availability. So when we are free and able to do things, and when we are
Mhm.
busy and we can't, and suggesting alternatives. So, what is an alternative, Liam?
So an alternative means the other possibility. Okay, it means that you may have one option, one choice, one possibility, and an alternative means a different choice, possibility, or option. Okay, for example, if you are in a bar and you would like a drink, okay, you can have red wine, or alternatively, you could have white wine, for example. And how telling that my first example was with alcohol. We just lost Jadine for a second, but there she is. She's back. Hi, Jadine.
Yay! Hi. Hi. Okay. So
Don't
I'm
worry.
sure that was a solid explanation. Sorry.
Don't worry
Okay,
about it.
and Daniela, 27. Hello,
Hello,
welcome.
Danielle. Hello, Daniele. Just a quick thing, guys. So about this verb arrange, okay? So you can see arranging to go, okay? So arrange in English is either, if you want to use a verb, we use to and the infinitive. So arrange to meet, arrange to visit, arrange to go, arrange to see, okay?
Perfect.
The other is the noun. Okay, so you can, for example, arrange a meeting. Okay, you could use arrange with a noun. Okay,
Perfect.
okay, and we've got another hello here from
Hi,
Floriana from Bari.
Floriana.
Ciao, hi Floriana.
Well,
Welcome from the
lovely name.
south. What
This
a
is the
lovely
first
name.
time I've heard this name. Very
Oh,
pretty.
really? It's a very
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
name. Yeah. So
You too.
Floriana's from Bari. So welcome, Floriana, from the south of Italy. We've got people from
Cool.
all over today. All right. So let's just, oh, hang on. Sorry. Just got a few too many tabs open, I think, here. Too many notifications. Right. So first thing here,
Okay.
I think this is to practice some questions, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay. So that first question, where do you go? Okay.
Yeah.
So, so Jadine, before we look at the grammar of this, let me just ask you: if you go out with your
Yes.
friends or family or whoever, I mean, in Milan or in London, where do you go when you go out?
So when I go out, I go to cafes, which is like a
Mm-hmm.
bar in England, but without any alcohol. So only the tea
Mm.
and coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Or I go to the park if the weather's nice because I like to be outside. Or sometimes I go shopping, but I don't love to go shopping. I don't love going shopping.
Okay.
I prefer to
Mm.
relax. Shopping is a bit stressful for me.
Mm. Right. Okay. So yeah, guys, that was a thank you, Jadine, because it's a good distinction because that thing, a cafe, as we said in English, okay, that is to us in Britain what in Italian would be a bar. Okay, because in Italy, when people say they're going to a bar, that could be for coffee. But this is confusing for British people, isn't it, JD? Because what do we mean
Definitely.
when we talk about a bar? What do we mean?
Yeah. When we go to a bar, we are drinking alcohol. Definitely,
We certainly are.
definitely. But not like a nice small like a limoncello or an amaro. We're going out for drinks. There will be music. Maybe there will
Yeah,
be some dancing. So very different.
absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, so usually for us guys, if you want to go for coffee, go for tea, pastry, brioche, etc. In English, you would go to a cafe, but if you go to a bar, okay, that is a place to have alcohol. Okay, so there's an important difference in English. Okay, and hello to Raffaele. Hello,
Yes,
Raffaele.
Rafaela, and also Olga
And
just
Olga. Oh,
joined us
yes,
as well.
that's right. Hello, Olga. Hi, guys. Welcome. Nice to meet
Hi.
you. We've got quite a few viewers, JD. Have you noticed?
Yes, I do. Like, we prefer this. In our last webinar, it was not it was not like
Pretty,
this,
pretty sparse, wasn't it?
but we had fun, didn't we? Oh,
We
okay, and
did.
we've got some answers already.
Oh, this
So
is
excellent
great.
from Pet. I'm not sure if we said that right. Usually in the weekend, I go to a ballroom to dance with my girlfriend. Oh, that is beautiful.
How romantic.
How lovely. I like that.
Okay, very good. But just pair one tiny thing. Just we don't say in the weekend. In English, the preposition is at. We say at
Yes, always.
weekend. Okay, the rest of the sentence, absolutely perfect. Okay. Really good. What did Olga say? I'll highlight. Oh, thank you, Jadine, already. I usually go to a restaurant for dinner, or go shopping, or to a beauty salon. Ooh, lovely. Very luxurious.
Ooh, and there's more. There is more, Liam. Yep.
I go to dinner with boyfriend and friends. Oh, very nice.
Whose boyfriend? I hope you go with your boyfriend, Olga.
Yeah, Olga, be careful. We need the possessive there. Is it, Olga, you mean I go to dinner with my boyfriend? I think is what maybe Olga wants to say. Raffaele says, I think so. Raffaele says, I often go to, okay, again, guys, we need our prepositions here, yeah? I often go to, well, I mean, JD, this is interesting, isn't it? Because Raffaele could say, he could say a bar, or he could say the bar. Okay.
Yeah, it depends. If you're talking about bars generally, any bar, we can say I go to a bar with my friends.
Yeah.
If you and your friends always go to the same bar,
yeah,
and maybe it's your favorite bar or the one that you go to the most, then you can say I go to the bar with my friends. Because here we know which bar you're speaking about, so we use a definite article.
And usually, JD, it's if you say the bar, you're probably talking about a bar that is close to where you live or where you work, maybe somewhere in the vicinity.
Yeah, usually.
I mean, we sometimes.
No, you can go.
No, I was just going to say we sometimes refer to this as my local. Okay, because in Italian there is this word locale, which can refer to a specific place. So if you talk about my local, okay, it means the bar or the restaurant, or no, usually a bar. In fact, I should say, usually the bar
usually
close
bar
to
or
you.
pub.
Exactly. I mean, Jadine, in London, growing up, did you have a local, for example?
Yes. Yes, of course.
Of course.
I have a local. My family have a local. Yes.
Excellent.
So we always go there often. We go there frequently.
Excellent.
So Stephanie, we'll just quickly go through the others. So usually, or I usually, one or the other. Usually I go to, again, a or the cafe with my friend to have breakfast. To have breakfast. So we always use to and the infinitive noun if we want to give a reason. So I go to the cafe to have, so the infinitive, breakfast. And Massimo, I like going to the pub with my friends, or again to, because think of a direction. I'm going to a place, to a concert.
Absolutely, yeah. To a concert, yeah. Always think, guys, of that idea of direction. You go to a concert, for example.
Yeah. So I can say, well done. No, you can keep going.
No, go. Sorry, go.
I was going to say, well done, everyone, for understanding the meaning of this question. So where do you go, of course, is the way we ask someone generally. Where do you usually go? What places do you often go to? So well done. None of you were tricked.
No, really, they were all really good answers as well.
Yeah.
Just just a few very small errors in general. Everybody, and guys, just to say, the errors that you're making are very small errors because we understand everything you are saying. Okay, so if you're telling us this in English, we understand everything. So this is really good, level. Okay, now that first one, we already had the question, but now we have to think a bit more about how do we construct these questions. So I think, Jadine, did you and I talk about this in another webinar possibly, or was it maybe me and another teacher about question construction?
How dare you, Liam? It was you and another teacher.
It was. I'm sorry.
You've been webinaring without me.
I've been web cheating on you. I'm sorry.
You've been webbing around.
I've been webbing. I've got another long answer here from Olga. I go shopping every week, usually in the city centre, because it makes me happy and I am not spending my own money. Well, Olga,
I think it's that boyfriend again. Liam.
I was just going to say,
I think it's boyfriend. I don't know whose boyfriend again, but
I'm going to just put the question. I'm going to put the question up there. Whose money are you spending, Olga? Really good, really good. But again, Olga. Cool. Olga, grammatically and linguistically, fantastic answer. Really clear and really well written. Very good. Okay. So where do you go? Just very quickly, guys. This is the super easy way for Italians to remember questions in English. Okay, I'm going to put it up here. Now, it won't look like...
Quasi?
Certainly is.
Yay, I just learned this.
Right, JD, explain it to us then, if you just learned it, since you just learned it.
We'll see if I can remember. So, and if you guys already know, then you can help me out. So, when we are asking questions, is it only for the present and past tense, or is it for all questions?
Oh, well, it depends. I think for now, let's just say it's for present and past simple.
Okay, so for present and past simple, when we ask a question, of course, we start with a question word. Okay, so that can be, if it's an open question, where we want an answer that's more than a yes or a no, we start with a question word. So who, where, when, what, why, how many, and how. Then we have the auxiliary verb. So that is do or does in the present tense, and in the past, it's always did. It's always did. Yes.
Fantastic.
Okay, and then we have the subject. So who are we talking about? I, you, he, she, it, we, and they. And finally, we have the infinitive of the verb. Okay, so this is your main verb.
Absolutely. Yeah, sorry, JD, I'm just typing this up as you go, just to get a... There we go.
Don't forget, with your questions as well, if you are conjugating the auxiliary verb do or does, you do not need to conjugate the infinitive verb. Okay, we always use the infinitive. You don't have to worry about changing it for the third person because you change your auxiliary verb.
Yeah, very good. Yeah, where do I go? Where does she go? Exactly. I would say that the auxiliary is probably, and JD, I don't know if you agree, but I'd say it's the most important part of constructing a question in English.
Yeah, of course, because you keep obviously the question, the subject, and the infinitive the same.
Yeah.
But it's a difference from where do you go to where did you go. It has a whole different meaning.
Exactly. And also, if you're not familiar with auxiliaries, if you've not used them, for example, then sometimes we forget them. But that can be a problem because without an auxiliary in English, it's not a question.
Exactly. And the other thing, so the quasi method is, like I said, if you want an open question. Okay, so I want some detail in your answer. If you just want a yes or no answer, then you can just use the ASI method. So without a question word.
Yeah, ASI
Exactly.
instead of quasi. Yeah.
Exactly. So instead of where do you go out, where you have to tell me the name of a place.
Yeah.
If I just say, do you go out, you can tell me more, or you can just say yes or no. So we call this a closed question.
Exactly. And guys, just to say, if you're not familiar with some of these terms, you know, open question, closed question, don't worry. You study this all the way through. Level 5, level 6, level 7. We keep doing this question form. And some of these words like auxiliary, open, closed, all of that will come in due time. Do not worry. I just wanted to highlight, we got another couple of good answers from Floriana. She said, I often go to lunch to home of my boyfriend's parents, but I love to go dancing on Saturday night.
Me too.
I prefer lunch. I'll go for lunch, and JD, you can go dancing.
Okay, so this is interesting because Floriana, you've used the possessive for your boyfriend's parents very well, but we can use the possessive again, Liam. Do you want to tell her how?
Exactly. So, Floriana, what you could have said here is you would say, for example, let me just write it. You would say, I often go to my boyfriend's parents' house. So this might feel strange because we think, oh, we don't like repetition. Okay, but it's not repetition, okay, because you're talking about two different subjects. My boyfriend's parents' house.
Yeah, so we can do it in reverse as well, where it's the house of the parents of your boyfriend.
Yeah.
So there are two ofs, which means we can use two possessives.
Yeah. But if you say the house of the house of the parents of my boyfriend, it sounds very, I don't know, grandiose and
it's very long.
Very
by the time we're at the end of the sentence, we've forgotten the beginning, I think.
Probably.
Yeah.
Raffaele says, we've got another example. I go to the bar. So he means, Raffaele, you mean a specific bar? Okay. I think that's what he means. Three times a week. Very good.
Oh, his local, maybe.
Maybe it's his local. Absolutely. Well, I think like coffee bars are to Italians what pubs are to British people, aren't they?
Oh, it's true. There are so many of them. It's crazy.
Absolutely. You know, there's like, oh, this one does the good coffee and this one doesn't do the good coffee, for example.
Yeah.
So, guys, sorry, JD, what were you saying?
No, I was just agreeing.
Yeah. Right, sorry. No, I was just going to say, Raffaele has given us a great example with when. Okay, when do you go? Okay, but I would just add maybe one little thing, Raffaele. I would say, when do you go out in this case, right? Because we're talking about going out, right? So I would say,
or when do you go to the bar?
Yeah, or yeah, if you know the subject, yeah, like when do you go to the gym?
Yeah.
For example, yeah. So, guys, what about the next one? How often, JD? When we talk about how often, what are we asking about? What do we want to know when we talk about how often?
Okay, so when we ask someone how often they do something, we mean how many times does a person do something within a time frame. So how often in a week do you go to the gym? I go to the gym 3 times in a week. This is how often.
You're very good. Yeah. If that's true, I'm very impressed.
It's not. It was a lie.
So yeah, guys, how often is about, as Jadine said, the number of times you do something, and usually, as Jadine said as well, in a defined period. So that is the frequency. Okay, so yeah, like Jadine says, you go to the gym 3 times a week, you go out with your friends every Saturday, for example. So Guys, what do you think? Feel free to post us your own thoughts. What's the question?
Yeah.
Because Jadine, we can use how like a question word, right?
Yes. Yes,
Exactly.
we do. So how is all about, would you say mode? Is mode the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
mode,
so
the
the
mode or the
mode or the
way.
way something is done. The way I
Exactly.
think is better. The
Yeah, the
how is
mode.
all about the way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then adding it to how, yeah, sorry guys, we're talking over each other. It's internet, not us, I promise. We're both extremely polite people. It's just
We are. It's a
this,
side effect of being British.
it's, yeah, exactly. Because then both of us wait an eternity for the other one. No, you, no, you, no, you. Pay, I think again, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. He says, I go to the cinema twice a week. Perfect.
Excellent.
Pay, perfect answer. I go to
Excellent.
the cinema. Good for you, Pay. That's really good. You're a real cinephile. I like that. So yeah, if we say how, so what would be the question form, JD?
Okay,
If I think
so
my question word, how often? Okay, and then I need.
sorry, I might be freezing a little bit.
No, you're okay. We can still hear you though. Let me
Oh, okay,
maybe.
great.
Yeah, we can still
Oh,
hear you.
great.
No
So
problem. I was just saying, if I've got my
yeah.
question word, how often? I need my auxiliary next, right?
Yes, exactly. And by the way, guys, I've just given the definition for cinephile.
Oh,
And
sorry. Yeah.
ignore that question mark. This is not a question.
This is a bit like Ron Burgundy. I'm
Exactly.
Ron.
Someone who loves the cinema. You love the cinema? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, how often do, and then I need a subject, right? So for example, you,
Yes.
and then our infinitive verb is, well, actually here it's a phrasal verb, but it still works, right? So how often do you go out in general?
Yeah. Yeah.
Perfect. So yeah, so how often do you go out? Oh, we've got an answer from
Oh,
Raffaele. He's given us a specific one.
excellent. And he really wants to know. I like the use of the double question mark. Um, but again, Raffaele, don't forget to include your articles, okay? So
Yes,
either the swimming pool or a swimming pool. But usually it
absolutely.
would
Yeah.
be you. I think what's interesting though is that usually with this question, don't
Mm.
worry too much, but we wouldn't ask how often someone goes to a swimming pool because usually we ask about the activity. So
Yeah,
rather
that's
than the
very
place,
true. Yeah,
how
very
often
true.
do you go swimming?
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
but it's not a big problem.
No, it's not like, because if you say to them, go to the swimming pool, we understand that they're talking about going swimming.
Exactly. It's just yeah. It's
Perfect,
not
Raphael.
incorrect. This is great. Yeah. How
Yeah,
often do you go to the market?
really
Wonderful.
good. Really good. Very clear. Well done, Raffaele. And then the last one, kind of an interesting one. Why?
Yeah, you have to think. I think of a really overprotective mother. Why? Why do you go?
Yeah, why? I mean, okay, but it's, why do we go to coffee bars? Why do we go to cafes? It's, for example, to socialize.
Yeah, it's true. So it could be. It's just asking what the reason is, and it can
Yeah.
be asking for your personal motivation. So
Mm-hmm.
I go to the cafe to drink tea,
Yeah.
or it can be to find information about the general reason. So, like you said, why do we go to the swimming pool?
Yes.
Generally, we go to the swimming pool to swim. Maybe I go to the swimming pool because I have a crush on the security guard or on the lifeguard. But generally, we go to the swimming pool to
Thank you,
swim.
Jay. Thank you, Jay Dean, for that completely hypothetical example, I'm sure.
Yes, definitely.
Um, Raffaele says, why do you go at the restaurants? So, Raffaele, remember with go, the preposition is with to. Okay, so
Yes.
you go to a restaurant. Okay.
Yeah, so the prepositions can be confusing. When
Yeah.
we're talking about right now, where we
Mhm.
are in the present, we can say I am at the restaurant or I
Yeah.
am at the cinema at a specific point, we always say. But like Liam said, when we use the verb go, we're not talking about right now, we're talking about movement somewhere. So
Yeah.
we always use the preposition to if it's towards or
Hmm.
from if it is coming away.
Beautiful. Yeah. Beautiful. Flo says, with coronavirus, I don't go out, but I go every day to my. So the difficult, just a couple of spelling points here, Floriana. So we've got, yeah, kitchen and cooking. Okay. Because I love it so much. Well, Floriana, I agree, because cooking is probably my favorite activity as well. And it's maybe one positive of this coronavirus is that I can cook and bake as much as I like.
Yes, I expect to see the fruits of that labour after the quarantine, Liam.
Just you can get on my
bring them to work.
I
Bring them
do.
to work.
I do. If you get on my Instagram, JD, people basically place orders.
Ooh, how exciting!
If
Yeah,
you
I'm
get
in
on
the mood
Instagram,
for a lemon drizzle. So.
exactly. If you get on Instagram, you'll see what's on the selection.
Okay.
Okay, Massimo, why do you stay at home? Perfect, because at home, really good. Because I can't stay all the week to sleep on the couch. Okay, so I think JD, pay
Mhm.
means he he can't sleep on the couch. Is that what he means? Do you think?
Yeah,
I, just
yeah. So I believe he means why do you go out? Because I can't stay all the week sleeping on the couch.
okay, so maybe, yeah, I can't sleep on the couch all week,
Yes.
I think is what we want to say there. I mean, again,
Yeah,
Pay, we understood you definitely, but just again on the construction of it, I'll just put
yeah,
it up there. It's just been a bit slow again. Sorry, the comment box. There you go. So Pay,
yeah. And
yeah, I
it's
can't.
it can be quite easy actually, because don't forget we use the present simple. So I sleep on the couch for something that's a habit, something that we do a lot. So I sleep on the couch all week, and then you just use the auxiliary verb can't to show that it's not something that's possible for you.
Yeah. Stephanie says, in this situation, I sleep all day.
So do I.
I think a lot
Yeah.
of people are doing that, Stephanie. For example, I think there's a lot of sleeping, a lot of watching TV, and a lot of cooking, probably at the
Exactly.
moment. Beautiful. All right, great. Okay. JD, anything else you want to add to this part on questions before we continue?
No, I thought that was great. The only thing is, don't forget when we are asking these present simple questions, where do you go? Who do you go with? These are all asking generally. It's all asking generally. And if you want your question to be more specific, then you just need to add something to the end. So where
Mm-hmm.
do you go shopping?
Yeah.
Or when do you go shopping in the summer, in the winter?
Yeah.
So that's
Perfect. Really good. Okay, guys, again, feel free to chime in with some answers here, but we're just going to look at a quick bit of vocabulary for different places. Okay, so you can see we've got 6 pictures on the screen and we've got 6 different names of these places. So again, this is always a good opportunity to practice our pronunciation because we have to remember that English is a non-phonetic language, unfortunately, the opposite of Italian. You guys have this lovely, clear system of you write down a letter and you pronounce it. For us, it's just pronunciation safari. We just go anywhere we want when we're pronouncing words, don't we, Jadine?
It's true. And as well, don't worry about your personal Italian accents. This is not what we mean by pronunciation. As
No,
you can
very,
hear,
yeah.
Liam and I have very different accents. It's more about make sure you stress the correct part of the word. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And also just which letters do we pronounce or not pronounce? I think that's
Yeah,
a really
that's
a
true.
yeah, but a really good point, JD. And I didn't think to say that. But yeah, we're not saying that it's like only Italian people. Everyone who learns English has issues with English pronunciation because it's pretty well, anarchic, to put it lightly.
Yeah. So don't worry about speaking English with an Italian accent. It's not a
No.
problem. Just make sure you stress the correct parts of the word, and also, yeah, you're pronouncing the letters that you should be saying.
For example, the first picture A, okay, so we've got picture A is a museum. And again, this is a good example because we don't go moo like oo.
Excellent, Stephanie.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah.
Well done, Stephanie. Yeah. So it's like museum instead of museum. Okay. So A is a museum. Okay. And picture B, Jadine, how do we pronounce that one?
This is a stadium.
Very good. Stadium. Okay. Stadium. Okay. And again, if you hear like, I think when Jadine and I, when we pronounce them slowly and when
Good,
we pronounce them
Raffaele.
naturally, yeah, very good, Raffaele. Excellent. Yeah. Stadium, for example. Picture C. Okay, we can see picture C is a shopping center. Okay, and again in English there's that sound. So the
Yeah.
R, it's not center like r with the R sound. Okay, we say shopping center. It's in this part right here. You go like Okay, it's the same as water, computer, teacher, center.
Yep. Exactly. And again, excellent, Raffaele. Excellent, Stephanie. D is
Very
a bar.
good. Very good. That's right. Is a bar. Very good. The next one, we've got the cinema. Cinema. Two quite similar phonetic sounds there. Cinema. Even though you've got letter E and letter A. Again, this is why English can be a bit strange. Okay. But we call that the cinema. And last one, JD. This one for pronunciation. How do we pronounce this one? This one's always good to practice.
So finally, we have a restaurant.
Exactly.
So really, in spoken English, I guess it's just two syllables. We don't say a restaurant. We say restaurant.
Yeah. Absolutely. We're kind of, I think it sounds to some people like we're kind of swallowing some of the words, letters, I guess, right? Restaurant. Okay.
I think of it.
Yes. Beautiful. Okay. Really good.
Like
good. Thank you. Yeah, you've got it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, beautiful. That's our own version of phonetics because I don't think we've got.
I don't know my phonetics.
I don't think a computer's going to do the IPA pronunciation. Right. This is right. This is a good one. This is language for invitations. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know, JD, these two expressions you've got, shall we go to or let's go to, would you use one of these more than the other? Is one of these more familiar to you, or do you use both?
I think they're for slightly different reasons. I think if I say, shall we do something, it's a complete option and you can say no and I can say, okay. If I say, let's do something, I think I have a stronger feeling that I want to do it.
Okay, so let's is more, in this case, is more me saying it's something I want to do and I want you to come with me.
I think so.
Okay. I don't know. I think I use both of them the same. I think shall we go for me is is an indication again that I want to do it. It's like they're
But
both.
do you think if you said to me, let's go to the shop, and I say no, I don't know. For me, I think that's more strange. Do you know what I mean? It feels a bit more.
Yeah, I think for me, I think they're both. I think they're both quite strong. I think let's go to, though, I agree, is stronger.
But it's yeah, it's just but also it depends, and anyone can use either. Just because I don't personally use let's go to doesn't mean it's incorrect. It's just
No.
not in my personal choice of words. Olga, give
Yeah.
me your Instagram. Maybe it's to the food, Liam.
It might
I
be.
don't know. It's your personal Instagram, but
Yeah.
there is my, is it Mais Via Meravigli? Or
Yeah,
just
if you
Mais Meravigli?
Myers Meravigli is the school Instagram page. Exactly. Okay, so guys, another thing as well, with shall we and let's, very important. Again, infinitive. Okay, shall we go? Shall we visit? Shall we see? Okay, or let's go, let's visit, let's see, etc. Okay, so we're always using, with both of these, we're using the infinitive. Pay, fantastic music reference here. Should I stay or? Very cool, Pay. I like it. As a big fan of
right now, I would say you should stay.
Yeah, so perfect. Yeah, shall we or let's with the infinitive. Thank you very much, JD. Okay, so yeah, but okay, you've got, shall we go to, and then you've got the list of places. But then here, JD, we've got, these are more like activities, right? Not locations.
Yeah. No, exactly. Activities.
Exactly. But you see that in each case, we have to use a verb. We can't say, for example, let's football or let's shopping or let's dinner. There has to be some verb, but as JD explained, it must be the infinitive. Okay, shall we play? Shall we watch? Shall we go? Shall we eat, have, play, drink, visit, etc.? Very important. But JD just reminding everybody, shall we? Yeah,
If
shall we?
you can.
If you can. Fabrizio says, absolutely, well done, Fabrizio. He's done the English version of Io resto a casa. Very good.
Okay, cool.
Cool, very good. Okay, guys, now we just got a few minutes left. Ways of answering. Now, these are really good, okay? Because we need to know how to respond politely. We don't want to just say yes, no. Okay, that's too simple. Okay, we want something a bit more. So the positive ones, that sounds great. Good plan. By plan, we just mean idea. I think, we don't mean an actual plan. Or sure is like saying certainly, but kind of a less formal way. The negative ones, though, now these I like because I think we use these quite a lot, don't we, JD? Because we're not a very direct people, are we, as British people?
No, we don't like to offend or upset anybody. If you offer or a suggestion, or if you suggest an idea for something for us to do, and I don't like it, I don't want to make you feel bad.
Exactly. So and it's this very British way of speaking. For example, Pay understands.
I like for sure as well. It's a nice response to the positive. It's quite American though. If you want to do something, for
sure. If but the negative ones are good as well because they're this very kind of almost coded British way of speaking. Like if JD says to me, would you like to go to the cinema? Or let's go dancing, for example. And I say, I'd rather not. What that really means is that I prefer to die, than go dancing. Okay. I mean, JD, I'm right.
It means that we just No, yeah, it's we say I'd rather not when we haven't had enough time to think of a good enough excuse.
Yeah,
Like
I couldn't invent. Yeah,
I'd rather not
yeah,
do that. I would
yeah,
prefer not to do that.
exactly. It's the I'd rather polite. It's this strange thing. It's polite, but it's very clear. You know, if you
Yeah.
say to me, "I'd rather," I definitely understand that you're not interested.
Yeah.
What about the next one, JD? If you prefer to, what does that mean? If you say you'd prefer to?
So it means that I would like more to,
Mm,
and then do something else. And that could include to not go. I'd prefer to not go. I'd prefer
yeah,
to stay inside. I'd
yeah,
prefer to bake instead.
yeah, exactly. So, for example, just to give you an idea, guys, in a positive way, if I invite Jadine and I say, and Jadine accepts, and I say, "Hey, Jadine, shall we go to the cinema?"
Um, I'd like to do something, but I'd prefer to go ice skating.
Oh, okay. You prefer to go ice skating. Okay, I can't ice skate, so let's 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 see. Let's go to a bar instead.
No, come back. Where are you? I didn't hear it. I froze. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. I said let's go to a bar instead.
I'd rather not because I'm trying not to drink so much alcohol.
Very wise. It's difficult in the cabin fever situation that we find ourselves in.
It's true. How about let's just stay and do webinars forever and ever.
That sounds good. That sounds great.
Okay, good
Wait,
plan. Good plan.
what's my favorite is go to balcony. Very good, Fabrizio. I like that. Yeah. So but I mean, maybe say I'd prefer to go to the balcony. Maybe would be better.
Yeah.
I'd prefer to go to the balcony. And I think Olga appreciated that answer from Fabrizio. You can see.
It's almost outside. Not quite,
Yeah,
but almost. We can pretend.
it's as good as. Let's see, Raffaele. He's written a little dialogue, I think here. Let's go to a
I like
museum.
that.
No, I'd prefer to go to the stadium. Ah, that's really good.
Wonderful. I
Very
like
good.
that. I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. Really nice. Thank you, Raffaele. Very good. But yeah, going to the balcony, that's probably as good as it gets right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this last one, you guys can see, let's instead, I mean, Jadine, that's very similar to saying I prefer, right?
Yeah. Instead just means in place of something else.
Yeah. Yeah. So, if I say, let's go to a bar, and you say, I prefer to go to a restaurant, you could say, let's go to a restaurant instead. And I think
Yeah.
those are pretty much the same. I don't know if you think there's a difference. I think
Yeah. No, it's the same. But as long as you know that when you say I'd prefer to do something else or let's do
Mhm.
something instead, it
Yeah.
means I don't want to do what you suggested. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean let's do this as well. Let's
Mm.
do both.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
means
absolutely.
no, I don't want what you wanted. I want to do something different.
Totally. Yeah, yeah. And also, just one little thing because we're running out of time. Let's
Yeah.
instead, I could also be if, for example, one of your options is not available. So, say you go to the restaurant and it's closed, and you think, oh, okay, well, let's go to a bar instead. It could be as an alternative, but not something you chose just because something happened.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so for our final minute, if anyone has any last questions, then let us know and we'll quickly try to answer them.
Yeah.
But otherwise,
Yeah, but otherwise, guys, thank you very much for being with us today. We really appreciate it. And we appreciate that it's all a bit crazy and disruptive at the moment. But we're really happy that so many people are tuning in to these proving useful. But what we hope more than anything is that very soon this situation will be over and we can see you all again in school.
Yes. Yes,
And
it's my dream.
absolutely, yeah. Jadine, she's barely seen the school. She has to carry. I carry a picture of the school around in my wallet at the moment, just so I remember what it looks like. Right, so guys, yeah, be sure to keep up on Instagram and Facebook to keep up with all the other webinars, because they're happening every day this week and almost certainly next week as well. And we'll see you soon. All right, guys. Thanks very much. Bye. 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 Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.